I'm excited to bring this one home for you here today in our special episode, Icicle Yeti's Winter Song, as we take down Protecting Our Friends, this big Icicle Candy Golem here for you on hard mode. So thank you for tuning in to today's episode and guide. If you got a question or comment throughout, do let me know, because I'd love to hear from you as always. And on top of that, my friends, we will have the access below for you with all the timestamps, and you can figure out the portion of today's video that's going to make sense for you as we work through our 4 T's, the tactics, the team, the treasure, and the toppings in order to make you successful and get by the Ice Candy Golem here. So let's get into it. As we always do, questions, comments, let me know, and come swing by the Discord server. That's a great way to stay connected. So here we go. So Ice Candy Golem, this boss, a few things as always as we break down the tactics. First, you have your special conditions here. Min cookie level 65, skill level 65. So if you're below that, obviously builds you up. Bond, sugar gnome, all that stuff. Things to pay attention to: effects, healing decreased, HP shield capacity decrease, and enemies debuff resist increase. So those are a constant. Additionally here, you're going to run into 2 or 3 mob groups of these lovely icing golems, ice cone lancers, all these things, and they can deal some damage. So be careful about that. We got to get through them quickly here. We'll talk a little bit about that in a second. And then additionally here, what we got going on with the Ice Candy Golem boss. So first and foremost, this guy's power level's at 334, so pretty decent. Big things is really the HP. It's a lot of life, which creates a problem to get through this particular stage and boss. And then additionally, Ice Candy Golem passive reduces all damage received. This effect is canceled upon freezing. Once the freeze effect is dispelled, the effect is reapplied. So this, again, stacked with this, creates a huge issue for you trying to get by. We're going to talk about that here in a second. It's got arm swing, swings its arms, dealing damage. Stonefall strikes down the ground with its arms, dealing damage. Ice Candy Cannon fires a labyrinth candy cannon, dealing damage and causing burn to all targets. And then Cold Radiation extends its arms and begins swinging, dealing damage. So the 2 biggest things that you're going to run into problems with: you're going to run out of time, which also relates to problem 2, which is not dealing enough damage. So that can be a tricky and huge problem for you. Now, as a free-to-play player here, this team is about as good as it gets in order to beat this boss for you. So here's what we're going to dive into and change some things up. No, you don't run PV in this. If you remember, you can check out the special video and see that we got super close. And when I actually made the guide the first time, I forgot one key component, and this is the key component. You're going to want cream puff, yes. And then we're going to talk about the other key components and the toppings here in a second. So this is the team that you're going to want to run to get by. You're going to want the ice damage support here with Frost Queen. You're going to want the crystal gem at least 10. That's at least what's worked for me. We got our Yeti here. We also got Snow Sugar. Snow Sugar as well is on 20 when it comes to the candy. You can go up above that if you need to as well. And again, I'm only at 4-star. You can make this better. All those kinds of things with all these cookies as well. Again, just free to play player here. So a couple other key components. The frost is all going to be supported here. That goes into against the boss's passive. We get huge damage with golden cheese. Certainly you can try something else there in your spot, but this is what has done the job for me, and again is a buzzer beater for us. So if you've checked out the Discord server, you can see that as well. So here's a couple other key topics in terms of the treasures. So for full-blown attack through Old Pilgrim's Scroll, Dream Conductor's Whistle, and then cooldown with Squishy Jelly Watch being crucial in order to getting by. So that's the first thing. Things that you can consider swapping if it's a little bit better, or you run into some problems on defense. Disciples Magic Scroll, you could go crit. As an example, you may also want to think about Vial of Raging Dunes, and maybe sometimes the speed stuff as an example as well. So a few things that you can swap in and out, but again, main focus is dealing massive damage as fast as you can and cooldowns. And one of the main reasons why you want cooldown is for this thing. So several times I ran this with Frost Queen. I've done it with damage. It's not good enough. You want to be on cooldown. The cooldown is going to help you get through the mobs faster, and then additionally keeping on that frost trigger on the boss, allowing you to do more damage. So that's very important. Now here on the Yeti, and as for all the toppings, as always, we recommend Resonant where it makes sense. Additionally, you can check out all of our topping guides here on the channel for each of these cookies. I encourage you to do that. But cooldown is important here. Again, Icicle Yetis is ethereal, so not really taking damage. Snow Sugar here, you're going to want to be on your Frost and Raspberry set to deal more damage. Golden Cheese on Cheese and Raspberry for damage. Frost Queen, like we talked about, again, cooldown. And then here with Cream Puff, you're actually going to want to be on Apple Jelly set here for crit. So that is the team, that is the toppings, that is the treasures. And then going back to conclude on the strategy here for this boss, again, tons and tons of life. We need to get the freeze effect in place in order to continue to do lots of damage. That's the trick there on the cooldown with Frost Queen instead of attack. And then additionally, all the toppings and treasures and why we broke down those pieces. And then additionally here, trying to get through the run by 220 gives us the right amount of time to essentially deal the right amount of damage and overcome this boss. So let's go for the run here against the Ice Candy Golem on hard mode in our special episodes on protecting our friends. So again, this is also a pure full-blown auto team for you. I have been wiped before, or not wiped, but lose things like Frost Queen and still be able to get by. It can come down to the wire like I talked about before. Those big blocked sugar guys can do a lot of damage. All right, there we go. Perfect timing. Right around that 220 zone, like I said. So here we go. I'm gonna rip through this. And I highly encourage you to follow the storyline if you haven't. It is a good story nonetheless. Hiya! We're in. We're in. Let's go. Boss mode engaged. So again, there's the frost effect. There's some great damage. Ideally, the best thing that can happen is our Frost Queen hits and then is quickly followed by Golden Cheese. That's where we're going to really, really maximize our damage. And then the Snow Sugar's ult is huge, huge as well with the Snow King there, giving tons and tons of damage. We're really, really reliant here on Cream Puff's massive heals. And then the next thing to pay attention to is that timer against the health bar. Ideally, what you're going to want to be doing is getting around 5 million for every 30 seconds. So right now, we're sitting pretty good. We're almost at 10 million left. There's the right follow-up there. So huge, huge hit in terms of that timing, as you can see. But about 1 minute left with less than 10 million, we're looking pretty good. So every 30 seconds, 5 million, that's going to be a good benchmark for you. There we go. So the Frost Queen, Golden Cheese off just a little bit there. Frost Queen being very, very close. So there's the wipe. We'll see if it's going to be enough to get by because we did have 5 million left. If we can get a couple more in. And here's the trigger right there again too. Freeze, freeze, freeze. It's going to be so close, my friends. Oh, right on the wire. Dun, dun, dun. Nothing like a little bit of bad luck. So one of the things that we always say here is try, try, and try again, because I know that this team can get by. You don't always get it the first time. So this is extraordinarily important for us, particularly when we're testing out teams and coming up with these guides for you, for example, because nothing is always perfect. Now, obviously, if we had the maxed out cookies and paid to play here, it could be a little bit different. But that is not what we're about here. So let's keep on chucking and trucking, my friends. So that is the one trick that you can run into a problem with. We didn't quite get enough damage in order for, or before we lost Frost Queen there. And then additionally, the team didn't put up enough post Frost Queen. So we're gonna try this, hopefully to success here. For you again. Hiya! We're at it again. 2 minutes and 19 seconds. So we're a little bit below the 220. But again, we'll see that, hopefully that combo kick in. So the key here, and one of the challenges that we run into, is certainly the health on Frost Queen. Generally, when some of this stuff goes off, we need to make sure that the Icicle Yeti's heal is continuing to offset the Cream Puff heal, because that is what makes the huge difference here as we try and get those full heals down every time on Frost Queen to offset Ice Candy Golem's attacks. That really makes the difference and the survivability. And again, why some of this stuff changes is because of that freeze effect that our team goes under, that really can make or break things for us. And again, that is why I say a little bit of luck can go a long way. There's a good heal for us. We're still sitting okay here. We need to get the Yeti in. Got the Frost component in. Down to 6 million left. There's a good heal. Down to 5. There's the Yeti. Come on. There's a full-blown heal. This time, putting us into a little bit better range. And get the heal off. There we are. Down to the last 1.5 million. And there it is, my friends. 30 seconds left. Our best run yet for you here, or at least PR. And that makes the huge difference in terms of what I talked about. So that's why I love to do these things and show you sometimes that try again is so important for you to be successful. So my friends, that concludes today's episode of the special episodes here of the Icicle Yeti's Winter Song, overcoming, protecting our friends on hard mode against the Ice Candy Golem. I am so excited to pull this together for you. I've spent a lot of time trying to knock this thing down and get the right team mixture for you with the required cookies here. The other tip is don't forget to change these out if you also have them. I know many of you ask me about that all the time. So with that, I hope you enjoyed today's guide. Again, if you still have questions or comments, do let me know. I love to hear from you, and come swing by the Discord server. We did go over the 4 T's, the tactics, the team, the treasures, and the toppings to make you successful. We showed the 2 runs, the first on the fail and the second on the good luck one, as we like to call it, in order to get by. And no, luck is also predicated on strategy and skill. So keep that in mind. With that, I hope, like I said, you enjoyed it. And on top of that, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for tuning in today. I appreciate your support. I appreciate the likes and the subs as we grow this community. And thank you, as always, deeply to all the members. You can join. Our memberships are available to you down below. And on top of that, other great ways to support the channel through affiliate links and stay in the know there as well. With that, protecting our friends, I encourage you to protect yours, and enjoy as always. With that, we got a ton of great CookieRun Kingdom content here on the channel for you to check out, and more coming all the time. Stay tuned as we continue protecting our friends. Take care.